don't know. Interesting as that is, huh? Hmm. So if I end this stream, it will no longer be live. Okay. Hey guys, how's it going? I'm just trying to. I loading up the YouTube live stream into my laptop. Trying to work this out. I think I just stopped it. Um, any rate, dismiss that. I'm live right here on my phone. I want to pull up some information here. Um, Give me a second. So, what is Bitcoin, you guys? You know what I mean? Like, really, what is Bitcoin? Do we know? Do we not know? I'm wondering what it is. You know what I mean? Like, what gives it the store of value that enables it to manipulate an entire market? You know, when Bitcoin's thriving, the entire crypto market's going up, but when Bitcoin's going down, best believe most coins are dropping. And why is that? Like, what the? Since like the manipulation is real, so I went ahead and did a little research on it. You know, 'cause that's what I do. And interestingly enough, we've got some information on Bitcoin here. All right, and I'm gonna kind of start. I'm gonna start with letting you guys know what I was like. What gives Bitcoin like value since it's not pegged to the dollar? It's not pegged to gold. It's not pegged to. There's no RWAs that it's pegged to. There's no like what. So what is it pegged to? So let's check it out. You know, what is Bitcoin and what gives it value? So Bitcoin is not pegged to any external asset, fiat currency, or commodity in the way of stable coins like USDT or USDC, which maintain a fixed value, typically $1, through reserves or algorithms. Instead, its value emerges from market dynamics, supply and demand, period, what someone's willing to pay for it, driven by investor sentiment, adoption, like who's adopting Bitcoin? What markets? How many open markets is it? I cannot come up with a global VWAP for Bitcoin, and that's a global volume weighted average price formula, and that's something that's very prevalent for Ethereum, XRP, XLM, XDC, HBAR. They all have a VWAP, not Bitcoin, not this historic store of value. There's what you know, who's storing what value in this weird what the. So let's go on. I just want to dive down it because what Bitcoin has zero utility, and all it does is it transfers money quicker than Swift does, peer to peer. That's it. Store of value, my ass. Anyway, it is the ninth largest commodity in the world, so there's that. Check this out. Supply and demand, driven by investor sentiment, adoption, and utility. What utility? As a decentralized digital asset, this lack of a formal peg is precisely what allows Bitcoin to function as a store of value, often called digital gold, rather than a stable medium or exchange. The key factor giving Bitcoin store of value properties. Check this out. Now, Bitcoin design and ecosystem provide inherent scarcity and security, making it a reliable holder of wealth over time, much like gold, but with advantages in portability and verifiability. Here's what underpins it, the underpinning. Fixed supply cap, all right? Okay, great. So XTC has a fixed supply cap. XRP's got a fixed supply cap. I don't even know if it's a fixed. They actually they're deflationary assets, which means they will use them. There's going to be less of it. There's less of it. It's it's worth more type thing. Any rate, you can't mine those coins either, like you can in Bitcoin. I don't know. Key factors giving Bitcoin the store of value properties. Bitcoin's design and ecosystem inherent scarcity and security making it valuable, but its fixed supply cap Bitcoin protocol limits uh, issuance to 21 million coins with a $19.8 million mined as of September 2025. This program's scarcity mimics uh, preventing inflation from overproduction. Right? Okay. Further slow news supply. What else? Give me something I can work with. Okay. Decentralized network security. Powered by proof of work mining, Bitcoin's blockchain is secured by global participants expanding real world energy and computational power hash rate, 700 EHs today. This makes it highly resistant to attacks or censorship, building trust in its immutability. No single entity controls it, unlike fiat currencies backed by governments. Oh, really? No entity controls it? But, oh, really? You don't think that the major like holders are controlling it? What causes Bitcoin to go down in value? People are just selling it off, buying it up for what? Interesting. All right. So, growing adoption and network effects. Over 1 billion addresses hold BTC with institutional inflows, ETFs holdings of 100 billion plus in 2025, and nation state adoption, like El Salvador's reserves boosting demand. It's increasingly used for remittances, hedges against inflation in high risk economies, and as collateral in DeFi, creating a self reinforcing loop where more users increase its perceived value, where more users increase its perceived value. I perceive a lot of things. Sometimes they ain't right though. Historical performance as a hedge. Since 2009, BTC has returned 200% annualized, outperforming traditional assets during crises, e.g., 300 plus percent in 2020 amid COVID. While volatile short term, its long term uptrend stems from these fundamentals, not backing by reserves. In essence, Bitcoin's peg is to get ready for this one, you guys. This is an interesting one here. I really, in essence, Bitcoin's peg is to human belief in its protocol, a collective agreement on its scarcity, utility sustained by code and economics. This is riskier than fiat, which can be inflated, but offers uncensorable, um, well, I guess profits, I don't know. Critics argue it's speculative, but pro- proponents see it as superior to gold due to its divisibility down to 0.000000001 BTC and auditability. If you hold this for a long term, it's a good hold. Well, yeah, I had a chance to own 20 Bitcoin in 2014, but I didn't know what a Bitcoin was. And I told the dude who was offering it to me, I said, "Can I put that Bitcoin in my gas tank?" He's like, "Well, it's a cryptocurrency. It doesn't work like that." I told him, "Well, it sounds like a shit coin to me. Cash is king." 20 Bitcoin. Jeez, oh Pete. So, let me further go back here and see what else I got. Here's another one I have on Bitcoin. Trading mechanics. Most altcoins are paired against BTC. A huge chunk of crypto trading happens on exchanges where altcoins are bought, sold directly against Bitcoin. ETH BTC paired, not USD. If BTC value spikes, holding an altcoin becomes more valuable in USD terms, even if its BTC pair stays fiat. Traders rotate profits into alts during bull runs. But when BTC tanks, altcoins prices in BTC terms often hold steady or dip slightly, amplifying the USD drop. If ETH in BTC is 0.05 and BTC falls 10%, ETH USD price could fall 15% or more. This creates a mechanical correction, not a casual one tied to utility. Investor sentiment. All right, crypto is treated as a risk on asset class. When investors feel optimistic due to macro events like lower interest rates, like what the Fed is doing now in September, lowering those rates, they pile into BTC as the safest, relatively speaking, crypto bet. Spilling over to alts, uh, pessimism reserves this. People sell BTC first to de-risk, then dump alts for liquidity. Studies show this herd behavior is amplified by Bitcoin's role as the market's bellwether, where news or sentiment about BTC, ETFs approval or whatnot, tend to have a spike on the price of the market. Altcoins utility subject because they're even riskier and less liquid, so they amplify BTC swings. Altcoins, utility coins are riskier. So it's like what gives BTC this value? What someone's willing to pay for it. And so what is going to give like these utility coins their inherent value to move volumes of money? Because like even H bar, XDC, XLM, XRP, they're not scheduled to like move a USDC or a USDT, No, these things are being positioned to move hundreds, if not thousands, of USDCs and USDTs and coins, global stable coins or whatnot, issuances. If France has a stable coin, they all want to have everyone wants the dollar. Everyone wants to have a stable coin that's the value of a buck. So the US dollar, the stable coins are going to take over the global, whatever transactional, everyone's gonna have a stable coin, but what's gonna move the stable coins? Well, utility coins like XRP, and what's gonna give these utility coins the value they need in order to operate and function according to scale? Well, it ain't BTC. It ain't nothing Bitcoin has to offer, and it's nothing that's really designed in the Bitcoin ecosystem. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into it, but I want to see if RWAs are being able to get tokenized and put on any kind of Bitcoin ledger, or what network or ecos does Bitcoin even run on? Because that's the one that would need to have a lot of inherent value added to it in order to stabilize Bitcoin's price. Other than that, Bitcoin is just really worth what someone's willing to pay for it. Period. Supply and demand. So that's a market manipulator. And when you have the one coin that rules them all, you know what I mean? When Bitcoin's thriving, the whole market's going up, yeah. But when Bitcoin's going down, you can probably pretty much guarantee the whole market's following. That's a tool of manipulation. So it would appear to me that who has the ability to manipulate and sell off Bitcoin? Well, big money market manipulators like BlackRock, Blackstone, Black Industries, Vanguard, State Street. I mean, I can go on, you guys. The list goes on. But anybody and look at Satoshi Kasama. Who's this dude with the biggest supply of Bitcoin out there? Nobody even knows who this guy is, so he could just be selling off little Bitcoins here and dumping it. I mean, I don't. It's kind of like the market manipulator. Is this market safe to trade in? Sure. How do you trade in such a volatile market? You got to pick your coins like Big Money picks it. Big Money XRP, Big Money's choosing H bar, Big Money's choosing XLM. Find a crypto exchange that trades on these coins, a trade that has them on their platform. And then what you do is when you make a trade, make sure that you have enough in your liquidity pool to ride that trade to zero. Like make sure that your estimated liquidation price says not likely, unlikely liquidation, or so low that there's just no way. You know what I mean? Like crypto would have to just fall off the face of the planet in order for you to just lose. So that's what I'm doing, folks. Not this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a financial analyst, and I'm a crypto educator. So what we're doing here is giving folks an idea of like what moves this market. Well, sentiment apparently, buyer sentiment. Good news, but no, it's supply and demand right now. Without any of these utility coins positioned with the utility backing the ledgers that they're going to be ran on, it's completely a it's a supply and demand market. So, like Bitcoin, whatever someone's willing to pay for it, because it's not pegged to anything. It's not pegged to gold. It's not pegged to anything, folks. It's pegged to sentiment. It's pegged to what someone's willing to pay for it. It's pegged to an idea, and whoever's willing to pay the most for it, like big money is able to do right now, BlackRock, Blackstone. I mean, what the U.S. government just bought a bunch of Bitcoin for the strategic U.S. Treasury Reserve Bitcoin with no inherent value. It's a peer-to-peer. It was built for peer-to-peer transfer. I mean, what Bitcoin does is it moves money quicker than SWIFT, quicker than HSBC, quicker than the banks do, peer-to-peer. That's what it does do. So that's a value? Sure, it's a value to people who don't want to be using the banks to transact their money. Sure, Bitcoin's great for that. But now all these cryptocurrencies are going to be ran through financial institutions, financial entities, and if you're going to transact on it, it's going to all be very transparent and interoperable and compatible, and they're all gearing up to do that. So, my suggestion is, folks, is don't if a cryptocurrency you're looking to invest into or maybe buy for the long hold, don't invest into something that is a supply and demand. I mean, meme coins are great, but there's supply and demand. That's why there's pump and dumps. That's why there's rug pulls. But right now with the entire crypto market, I mean, the entire crypto market is a rug pull. It is a pump and dump. It is a supply and demand. And that is not, I'm not speculatively informing you folks. This is fact. And I've seen it happen. I've seen when XRP gets like bullish news, beats the SEC lawsuit, just crazy. That would just send that price going a lot higher than it does. What happens? Well, currently we're working in, if you're a day trader, you're trading in a leverage based market. And this market, it's really great if you like to use leverage but you got to be careful because as soon as this market gets over leveraged, who's offering all this excessive amounts of XRP and H bar and whatever XLM to these exchanges as a form of leverage to give to traders to allow them to maximize profits on day trades. Who do you think? I could tell you who. Big money market players. And that's why 20%, the top 20 wallets at XRP hold 50% of the current circulating supply. So this whole market is a pump and dump right now, folks. And just follow the money. I'm not giving any financial advice on how to trade or what to trade or whatever. But if you're a day trader, pick a utility coin. Pick one of those ISO 20 or 222 compliant coins because you're not going to be going to zero. They're going to slowly be going up. And make sure that if you do take a day trade on it, that your liquidation level says not likely. You know, and that's how you'll keep yourself safe. And just wait for your estimated projection to take profits. Say it, but it's this is not a make money and become rich overnight type trading environment because what happens is when this market gets over leveraged, big money starts doing just leveraged sell-offs and crashing prices. It's not as if they're selling. They got bots that are trading on these big markets, you guys. Bots. So, for example, my deductive research has told me that BlackRock is currently in possession of 29.5% of the current circulating supply of XRP, BlackRock investment firm. That would equate to about 60 or almost 17 billion tokens or assets. And Blackstone Group over in God, where is it? Here in Australia, all right? Blackstone Group, they're currently holding 9.76 billion assets or 16% of the current circulating supply. And so with these two major asset management giants, they're what holding like 40% of XRP. So what happens when XRP gets all this bullish news and by day traders are like, yeah, let's go, and they're feeling some type of way and they start making trades and taking leverage out, and the leverage market gets over leveraged, and you just watch the price of XRP dump or drop. You get big money selling their little bot sell-offs. One of them's gonna BlackRock might call Blackstone and say, hey, set your bots to buy back 500 million, worth of XRP a day. I'm going to sell, we're going to sell off a billion. So we're going to drop the price. And, it's a bot sell off. That's why you see all these trades. There's a man like 20,000, 30, 50, 100,000 XRP here, there. And it's just booming up and down, buyer, seller. Those are bots. Those are big money bot market manipulators. Crashing the market when it's over leveraged, wrecking it. And guess who's funding this digital asset transfer? Yeah. Guess who, folks? Public traders, day traders. The public market is funding this financial shift, this reset. And we're doing it by trying to, everyone wants to get rich quick. Well, this market ain't about getting rich quick. It's going to be a huge transference of wealth. And get educated, folks. This is happening. I'm going to I'm going to quit bumping my gums and flapping my jibs for today. I hope this has been educational, but yeah, Bitcoin, it's not it. It's not the one. I mean, I don't know what store of value it holds other than what someone's willing to pay for it. Ask your Alexa, you guys. If anyone's got an Alexa, go ask your Alexa. Say, hey, Alexa, well, how is the value of Bitcoin determined and what determines the value of Bitcoin? And then ask those same two questions in that order to Alexa about Ethereum, about XRP, about XDC, about XLM, Stellar, about HBAR, Hashgraph. Ask. Find out which cryptos have a VWAP to come up with their price calculations and which don't. And which are just supply and demand, like a meme coin. And it's kind of funny how that top number one cryptocurrency out there is basically a rich person's meme coin, and it's a market manipulator. Let that sink in. It's not pegged to gold. It's not pegged to anything. It's pegged to human belief in the Bitcoin protocol. What the fuck? There's no utility in that. That right there is straight speculation, folks. And that's anyway. More will be revealed. We'll see what happens here, folks. I'm out. Signing off.